to Twisted Metal.
And here we go.
It's the comic book bullies.
Man, you come right out of a comic book.
It's the comic book bullies.
You will bow down before me!
It's the comic book bullies.
Now I am the master.
It's the comic book bullies. It's the comic book bullies.
All right, give it to me.
The following contains offensive language and spoilers. Listener discretion is advised. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. It's brutal out here. Da-na-na-na-na-na. That's all I know.
Okay. All right, I guess. Yeah.
It's one of them. Who is it? One of them new teeny bopper songs. My kid was listening to it. I don't know.
Oh, you expect me to know it? Okay, gotcha.
You're my young generation guy.
I am not the young generation. I don't know anything with these folks. Anyway, welcome back to the Comic Book Bullies. Nursery Bullies host Leroy, aka the Stone at the Build to Refuse, with my co-host.
Oh yeah, this is Eli, aka My Hero Sandwich Academia.
Look at you getting into anime. Okay.
Or manga. I never watched the anime. I read the manga.
Oh, right. You're too pretentious for the anime. You read the manga because it was better.
Anime
right.
take too long. You can read the manga in an hour.
Did you have your pinky up when you said it? Manga. And shout out to our third co-host, aka the Doombot.
Oh hell, the Doombots.
Doombot, cover your ears. Eli, have you heard the new racial slur for AI?
Nah.
You know it. That's the fucked up part about it.
Did I say it?
Yes, Eli, you're canceled. You probably did say it. It's Clanker.
Oh, is it?
from Star Wars? Yes,
from the droid, yeah.
It's catching on. People are saying that for AI nowadays. It's like a racial slur for AI.
Oh, is it getting offended?
Star Wars is saying it now.
Is the AI getting offended and shit?
It probably will. We probably watch our mouth before. With me clank, not with the hard R on it. Let's get to the show. Let's get to the show. What are we talking about? Okay. All right. So, hold up. That's what I was talking about. You talking about anime? That's what I meant to start off with. Okay. I want to make a public service announcement here because I got an argument all weekend about King of the Hill. I didn't watch it. I just want to say this. King of the Hill is not an anime. Stop calling it that.
Oh,
Stop abusing that word.
I thought you called it an anime.
No, I didn't call it anime. I'm hearing other people saying that King of the Hill is one of the best animes of the last 5 years. Like, no, it is not an anime. Stop throwing that word around. Start using it any way you want to. It's not an anime. It's a cartoon.
It's a cartoon.
And then people start trying to correct me and actually and stuff like that. Well, in Japan, they don't just everything's an animation. So is Bugs Bunny an anime? Yeah, okay. Is Tom and Jerry an anime? Yeah, okay, fine. Be like that. But the next time you hear me call Naruto and One Piece a cartoon, shut the fuck up. Don't get on my ass because you know how you motherfuckers get.
Oh, the fucking internet. Don't you love it?
Right. Okay. Well, that's what I was doing all week, Eli. Sorry.
Interneting.
I'm interneting. I guess I am your gateway to the young generation, I guess. I don't know. Because that's the shit I've been arguing about all week. So, yeah. Other shit I've been arguing about all week. Your boy is canceled.
The shit.
Yes. Dean Cain.
I never watched any of them shows, man.
What? You never watched My Adventures with Lois?
I never watched a Lois and Clark episode in my life.
Oh man, you missing out. Okay. So yes, for those who don't know, Dean Cain, the Superman actor from the 90s Superman show, is excommunicado. He is canceled. He's out of here. And we're not playing that. I'm not doing a poll or anything like that. Like, is he canceled? Is he not? Like I did with Sydney Sweeney last week. That's different. With Sydney Sweeney, if you have big titties, you can at least talk your way out of the situation. We'll at least hear your argument. If not, no, you're out of there. So sorry. I'm sorry, Eli. I had to cut it off before I got to. We're still a family show. So for those who don't know about Dean Cain, so the thing is, Dean Cain is
Broke.
and joined ICE.
He needs a job.
Yes. And you would think ICE would have an age limit, and he like down there 60 or some shit like that, but whatever. He's ICE now. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So Superman, a story about an immigrant, is joining ICE, which get rid of immigrants. It's like he learned nothing from the show as long as he did it. He just did a pick up tip, just left.
What's he gonna do? Like deport his grandparents? Ain't he like part Asian or some shit?
I was just about to say that. For those that don't know what's going on, Dean Cain's real last name is Tanaka. He's Japanese. So his family was in internment camps in America. And now he wants to join ICE. What kind of dumb shit is this, man? I don't know. It's like bizarre. I don't know what.
Yeah, dude, exactly. I was about to say he's not Superman. He's Bizarro.
Right, Bizarro, Superman, Ultraman. Yeah, so he
exact
is
opposite of Superman.
Exact opposite. So he is technically Superman, just the exact opposite of Superman. So yeah. So how the hell you Japanese and you? I don't know, man. It's the weirdest shit I've seen so far. I just had to talk about that because it didn't make no damn sense to me, and I was hoping somebody else could make sense of that because I was like, this.
Well, there's a fraction of there's a population are probably like, yeah, fuck yeah, you know, that's the Superman we need.
Watch Dean Cain, yeah,
yeah. Like the
my
people.
thing, I want to boycott him, but he ain't did shit since the '90s. So what can I boycott? So,
like him, him and Gina Carano could go make an Angel Studio movie about an injured,
might as well,
about an injured football player that makes a comeback.
Oh, Gina Carano is paid. She ain't doing the movies no more.
I love how that the statement that Disney put out, like, we look forward to looking into opportunities to work together.
They're not gonna work with her kids. She don't care. She got paid. She's good now.
We'll let you know. We'll give you a call when we find something. Meanwhile, all the Dean Cain fans are like, fuck yeah, Gina Carano won. Can't wait to see her back in Star Wars, which they hate. And she's going to make, Gina Carano's going to make Star Wars great again.
Get all those fans back and shit like that. That would be interesting if she's in that Mandalorian Grogu movie. That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
because they didn't kill her off. They just said she got a promotion. That was the lore.
She became a fucking space cop, and so she was getting what that show was supposed to be, the Rebel Commanders or some shit she was gonna do. Yeah.
Like they said what happened to her, but it was like, so she didn't. They didn't kill her off. They didn't say like, oh, sadly she died off planet, shit like that. They didn't say that.
Yeah, she joined the Rebel. Yeah, she went to go deport like Ewoks or some shit.
Yeah. So that would be interesting. That would be very interesting. Let's see what we got here. Hold up, I can't read that. Let me see.
Thoughts on upcoming Maul series?
Upcoming Maul series.
I'll watch it. It's the animated one. Yeah, I'll watch Maul.
Yeah,
Maul's one of the coolest.
I had a dog in that fight. So yeah.
Maul, I consider Maul one of the greatest Star Wars characters that never got to do fucking shit in the movie.
Right.
So yeah,
he was the one villain in any movie ever. I got sad when he died.
Yeah, like, oh no, man, he's dead. He ain't coming back. And
right.
So yeah,
he ain't coming back. So like, yeah, most villains are like, yeah, good for him. He was like, no.
Yeah, I felt Maul should have been the villain in all three of them. He should have been the Vader of the prequels. I digress. You're gonna get me started. Don't get me started.
Yeah, lightsabers don't y'all know the rule? We ban Star Wars on the show.
Disney pissed me off what they made lightsabers not kill people anymore. Yeah, no one dies. Nobody dies in shit in Disney anymore.
They pay people too much money to kill them off. They can't do that.
Well, I mean, here we go. The Acolyte, that lightsaber duel was dope. And those.
Well, they knew those actors were one and done. So yeah. I gotta unplug that thing, but yeah, hold on. Then they come in here. It better not be. If it's another Star Wars question, I swear to God. Let's see. Let's see.
Agreed. Which Acolyte was worth a damn? Yeah, that's about it. We were very. We did not have a lot of good things to say about the Acolyte, other than that lightsaber duel.
Right. Other than that's it. So yeah. Moving on past Star Wars. Okay, now we talk about the thumbnail. Yeah. So the thumbnail we're going to talk about. We came to talk about Twisted Metal, a show that honestly I don't think anybody's talking about other than me and Eli. So
yeah,
that's why we want to talk about it, because it's like since we talking about it, let's talk about it.
We reviewed
we
season
always talk
one.
about it, right? We talk about it off the podcast where nobody's paying attention. So let's talk about it on the podcast and talk about the show. So yeah, so like I said, this is season 2 of Twisted Metal. For those who haven't heard about Twisted Metal is a did I do the wrong? Oh no, I did the wrong thing. I did just meant to do that. A video game. It's a video game adaptation of the Twisted Metal series. It was on PS2. It was on PS3. I think maybe PS4. I'll be honest with you. I never really played Twisted Metal.
It was a PS1.
PS1? Fuck.
Yeah,
Back that far?
it was an old game. Yeah, I remember. I think that's the only time I ever played it was on PS1.
Damn. And my thing is this. Now, you're going to get a lot of value opinions on people that actually like I said, I never was really into the Twisted Metal games like that. I think I played maybe like 5 minutes of it. I was like, nah, I'm good. But I know people that love to. I know some people say Twisted Metal is their favorite video game franchise. Like, that's it. There's nothing touching that. And they watched this show, and they were like, what the fuck is this? So, yeah. Because the thing is, the show kind of diverges from the video game. It's really doing it. Like, it takes from the game, but it really ain't following the game. It kind of does its own thing.
Yeah.
For instance, like I said, if you notice that Anthony Mackie's in the show. So, personally, for me, this is the best thing Anthony Mackie's ever played in. So,
really, 8 Mile? You
Yeah.
didn't like 8 Mile?
best thing he's ever played in. Like I said. So this one made me think like, hey, okay, Anthony Mackie ain't that bad. Okay, I guess he can carry a show. So he's good. But the thing is, he's playing John Doe. That's the name of his character. So John Doe is a character in the video game. Is it the video game section, Eli? I guess the video game.
Sure,
section.
why not?
Fuck it, whatever. We do whatever we want to. It's who's paying the bills. So yeah. So like I said, John Doe is a character in the video game, but John Doe has no backstory. John Doe, I don't even know if John Doe even talks, and he's a white dude. So basically, Anthony Mackie is just playing Anthony Mackie. So don't worry about it. How the only thing he has in common with that character, they drive the same car. That's it.
Okay.
So other than that, might well be a completely different character. Let me see. I think I got another thing right here. Nope, not that. This, nope. I ain't got it. I do got it. Boom, that. Yeah, the posse shots like that. The more characters are in this show that are from the video game that weren't in the first game, like Baby Doll, she's a big character in the game. Who else? Other people I can't remember. They're starting to get magic characters in this show now, which that wasn't a thing in the first season.
I remember the Axel character, the dude on the wheels. I do remember him.
What, from the game?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I didn't know if that was a thing or not, but okay, I imagine it will because it's too crazy to not be. So yeah. So yeah,
And of course the clown. What's that clown's name again?
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet
Sweet Tooth is like the mascot. He's yeah. So even if you don't know anything about the game, you know Sweet Tooth the mascot. Is it me, Eli? Or is the Sweet Tooth kind of toned down in this season?
I think it's just more of the same shit to me. You know.
I guess. I don't know because it feels like Sweet Tooth had like an edge to him. But now he's kind of like a goofy dude in this one.
That's what I think. I thought he was goofy last time. So yeah, it's whatever.
Okay, I guess. Yeah, and you're probably right. Right. So yeah. So maybe I'm reading too much into it. But overall, what I think about, like I said, let's talk about the first season. First season, great, loved it. I was gonna just watch one episode and then couldn't stop and just flew through all of them. I was like, okay, this is a great season right here. It's funny. It's got a lot of humor in it. It's got like that dark comedy into it. It has some funny scenes in it. And season 2, kind of more of the same. I was thinking they were going to, I don't know. It kind of is what it is. You know, there was some funny stuff in this season 2 I've seen so far. Like I said, they've only dropped the first 4 episodes, but I did see some funny stuff in there. It doesn't have that edge like I thought it did before. Some of the newer characters don't hit like I thought they would. Some of the characters coming back, I don't know, kind of lost their edge. But when they started doing the vehicular combat, I was back into the show. I was like, well, that's all you got to give me. I don't really care what you do with it.
That's what keeps me hooked.
That's what keeps me hooked. Like once you do, whatever flaws I had with the show, once you do that, they kind of go away from me. It's like, okay, you got it.
The car chases and then his sister, whoever that chick is, she keeps me watching.
Wait, which chick? Which chick?
His sister, the one who's playing his sister.
Oh, Baby Doll? Yeah.
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 I was like, yeah, who's that? Okay. They got my attention.
Just popped up out of nowhere. So, yeah. So, like I said, so overall, I'm enjoying the season so far. Not as much as I was enjoying the last season, but I'm still recommending this season. so far. Now I don't know if it's gonna fall off a cliff in the half of the season or whatever's going on, but so far I'm engaged. I'm entertained. What you got, Eli?
Well, I mean, I think it's more of the same. Like I'm not a huge fan of the game. I know of it as a concept. I've played it a few times. But I don't know any of the lore or the mythology around the Twisted Metal story or the world. So, but I remember the first season being surprisingly enjoyable. Like I had no expectations and ended up, hey, I was engaged and managed to finish the season. And then totally forgot about it until like last week. Hey, there's a new Twisted Metal season. Oh yeah, that's a show, and there's a new season. Okay, so I can't say I was into it as much as last season. I feel it's more of the same. It's very campy, very goofy. It's got that very kind of like kind of like a juvenile tone to it. You know what I mean? And I think, some jokes land, some jokes don't. But it is just another post-apocalyptic dystopian show.
Like Mad Max or some
shit. Yeah, in a sea of all. Like we have, like it's not Fallout,
right. Which was great. Yeah, we recommend everybody anything.
Yeah, or Walking Dead or Snowpiercer or Paradise. We didn't talk about Paradise. We never talked about Paradise.
Paradise is great. Anybody hadn't seen it, Paradise is great.
Yeah, Paradise is awesome. So like this just kind of gets lost in another one of those post-apocalyptic dystopian worlds and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So and it's a little bit more goofy and campy.
It felt like they ramped that up. So
yeah, and I think that tone wears a little thin after a while. It kind of reminds me of like a trauma movie in a way, It's totally goofy, not taking itself seriously, and which is fine in small doses. That's what it feels.
Part of it, half of the fun in the first season was because learning how they got to this. So a lot of that backstory was, okay, the world was like this, and then the world turned into that. But now, since we know where the world is, that's gone. We don't have no flashbacks like that. So,
but like
Trauma, like The Last of Us,
Yeah, but like Trauma, it's it doesn't take itself seriously at all, and it basically pushes like the jokes and the humor, the stupid humor, And I like that's good in small doses. This feels like I don't need an 8-hour Trauma flick, you know what I mean?
Right.
This feel and this
like they could have wrapped this up in a movie and it'd been cool.
Yeah, and what this feels like pretty Trauma or like big budget Trauma, like glossed over slick Trauma, which kind of doesn't work, because
it defeats the purpose.
The appeal of Trauma is that it is just trash. This is a pile of shit you're watching. Nobody can act. The special effects suck, but that's kind of the appeal. You laugh at it all. Whereas this has got a big budget. This is big budget Trauma, and it kind of wears.
It's
thin.
A big budget B movie, which doesn't,
it kind of wears thin for me after a while. So, like I was like having to watch multiple episodes was kind of wearing on me. Like if I could stick to one episode a week, I could probably enjoy it a little more. But when I was binging like 3 episodes, I was okay. Yeah, I'm kind of, I'm kind of checking out. But yes, the action's cool. The car chases are cool. And when there's no car chases, it's not as cool. So
right.
That's about all I got.
So yeah, like I said, I'm still engaged. I'm still entertained. I'm waiting for the next episode to come out. I almost kind of wish that they did like drop more episodes because like last week they only gave us 1 episode. Well, this week they only gave us 1 episode. So I was thinking like, damn, just one. When the first week after that they gave us 3 episodes, and that one I kind of wanted to, give us more. I'm on for that. I know Eli's getting wore out, but I'm enjoying the ride. So
yeah.
So, but that's all we got. Like I said, I don't even know how many episodes are going to be this season. I just know this got episodes. So,
yeah. Like I said, I was surprised that they even got a season 2. Like, oh wow, okay.
I was kind of shocked too. I was kind of like, okay, because nobody's talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not like this big hit where the internet kind of catches on to like nobody's talking about it. It's just like a thing that's just there. So yeah.
Like it's not bad. It doesn't suck. It's just,
right.
Kind of.
But you think it would have a bigger audience.
Yeah.
What it is. It's a video game property.
Yeah.
And even the people I know that talk about video games ain't talking about it. So
yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess Minecraft was the big video game movie of the year. So
right, 4 and
no room
5.
for anything else.
Right, all people talk about is Minecraft. So yeah. So yeah, that's all I got. Can we move to the next part?
Yeah, I guess I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
Okay, I gotta go higher than
episodes.
you. So I'm gonna say 3.5 out of 5. I'm honestly, now that they've gotten to the vehicular combat, I may even give it a higher score in the second half of the season.
Well, yeah, and there is like a car chase in every episode, so that kind of So they are sticking to like the purpose, of the show, of the game. That's what the game is. It's like a racing demolition. It's like kind of like Road Rash, but with cars. Sort of, because on Road Rash, which I loved, that was one of my favorite games on Sega, where you could like beat the, you can fight the other riders and shit, and make them wipe out and crash and shit.
And the funny thing about like this, from what I know about the game wasn't about a post-apocalyptic thing. It was just crazy people just racing. That's all it was.
Yeah, it was like a demo. Yeah, you were just trying to destroy the other cars.
That's all it was about. It wasn't a race or anything like that. It was just that, but whatever. They do what they want to do. Like I said, it's just taking the license and just kind of, being willy-nilly with it. So, yeah, we move on past that. Can we move to the next podcast?
Sure.
Okay, like I said, we watched 4 episodes of Twisted Metal. Now, I watched 4 episodes of Wednesday. And I really want to talk about Wednesday. But I know you didn't watch it, so that's why we talked about Twisted Metal.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. So I'm just brief to talk about it. Like I said, it's Wednesday season 2, 4 episodes drop right now. Netflix is doing the Netflix thing where they're going to give you 4 seasons right now. 4 episodes right now, and then 4 episodes later on.
Okay.
So
I got time to catch up.
You get time to catch up. I don't even think the next season comes out. I mean, the second half comes out, I don't think, till like September or some shit.
Like Halloween season.
Something like that. So yeah, so it just kind of gave you what it is right now. So funny thing about it, what I think about Wednesday is almost the exact opposite of what I think about Twisted Metal. So like I said, we talked about Twisted Metal, how I thought that the first season had a little bit more edge to it, and then the second season get a little bit more goofy. Like I said, with the Wednesday, you had this shit right here where it started, because I know the first season I kind of just faded out until she started dancing. They're like, hey, okay. And then it went viral on TikTok and y'all wore that shit out. So I'm pretty sure Eli's got a video somewhere him doing it. So funny thing about it's not the first time Tim Burton went viral with a dance. So yeah. Remember the rap song, Eli?
Oh yes, I do.
So yeah. So that's my thing. So that's the first season. So the first season, they threw all these whatever characters at me, and I kind of really didn't care about these whatever characters. Like, y'all keep throwing at me, but I don't care. Not that girl. That girl. Yeah. The only one I cared about was the wolf girl. That was it. Funny thing about it, Eli, that wolf girl, she was in Minecraft. The Minecraft movie.
Okay.
That almost did $1 billion. So she might be bigger than Jennifer Ortega right now. Just saying. But yeah. Hold up. What we got? What game is this? Twisted Metal. Everybody, it's the PS1, Eli. That's why nobody knows what the hell we talking about. That's why the game ain't catching on, because it's PS1.
Yeah. Have they redone? They haven't made a remake or whatever?
I don't think so. I think the last remake may have been like PS3.
Yeah,
and shit, that's like 15 years ago.
When was the last Twisted Metal game?
Like I said, it might have been PS3. I think that's what it was. That's why nobody's talking about this game. This show.
Yeah, there was no remaster. They didn't remaster it or anything like that.
They may or may not have. I don't know. But I think we just answered all the questions.
Holy shit. Like, I'm trying to Google Twisted Metal and the show comes.
Right. But because it's not a brand that people just attach themselves to. So
yeah.
Oh, like I said, back to Wednesday. Like I said, Wednesday. But the thing I like about this show, about this season, is because it does have a more of an edge to it. They're actually leaning into the horror on this one. They're like dropping bodies on this show. You know, people get taken out. I had to actually watch the ratings. Like, is this MA 14, whatever like that? But no, it's still 14, but they just taking it further than what they did for the first season. The star of this season is Tim Burton. This may be the most Tim Burton thing ever. Like, it's even got that stop motion animation shit he's done, and that's in there. All that shit is in there. Like, even if you don't know Tim Burton's name is attached to it, you'll know it's Tim Burton. If Beetlejuice would have just pop up in the next episode, I wouldn't be shocked. Like, It's
The shared universe.
Yeah, it's like if he like he just went to the school, it's like the professor. I'm like, okay, whatever. You're like, that's how crazy this shit is. One thing, but the thing I like about this show, well, this season, because one thing I didn't like about the last season is that the Addams family weren't there. Now this season, the Addams family is in the Addams Family show. They actually have more stuff to do. They're in every episode. Like Pugsley goes to school now.
Okay.
Like that. And that's one thing that why we need to shorten the gap time between these seasons, because this is what Pugsley looked like in season 1 versus Pugsley like in season 2.
It's like Stranger Things. Those kids are all in their 30s now.
Right. They're bringing their own kids to the school and shit like that. Like, what the hell, man? Like, y'all need to wrap this shit up, man. So Pugsley like tall as fuck, like a basketball player or some shit, you know. Let's see.
R2D2. Look at my avatar.
Right. Anakin Skywalker. I just said that to piss him off. So yeah.
Thank the maker.
Anakin is the maker. I'm just saying. And that's why Star Wars is banned. Okay. Yeah, but what else about it? Okay, so like I said, more Addams Family in this Addams Family show. Gomez shows up in every episode. Like when the Addams Family show up, it's fun. So now I ain't got these weird ass wolf characters and invisible characters, stuff like that I don't really care about. Now the Addams Family, and when they show up, this show is interesting. And they kind of push those other people I don't care about to the side, you know. Darth Vader. Like I said, Anakin, same guy. So yeah. So overall, and like I said, it's got more of an edge to it. You got bodies getting dropped over here. You got murders. You got zombies eating people and shit like that for no fucking reason. Now, I will say one problem I have about this show that I had the same problem about the last season is that tonally, it's all over the place, but that's just Tim Burton. Like you'll have a zombie one episode, and then the next episode they're doing at Camp Jericho doing games and shit like that in the sunny side and shit like that. So it's kind of like, what we doing with this? You know, then next episode she's in an insane asylum and shit like that, running for her life from a werewolf and shit. You know, so it's Tim Burton. Tim Burton's gonna do what he does, but I do like it that his signature is all over this show. That's one thing I did like about that one. So overall, I'm liking this season better because, like I said, first season I was kind of fading out until they started dancing. This one I'm actually into it's a murder mystery. I'm into it. So seeing where it goes. So
I never finished the first season. Just because that was when I was moving to the new place.
Yeah.
And I fell off of everything. Remember, I was watching the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon. I fell off of that, and there was I was watching the Chucky show and fell off of that. Yeah, I just fell off of everything because that whole move kind of fucked me up, and I just fell behind, and so I never finished the last Wednesday season, and I always meant to. I just never got around to it, and but maybe I'll catch up. Maybe
it is what it is. So the first 4 episodes of Wednesday, I'm gonna give it a 4. Because like I said, I was watching this Twisted Metal back and forth, and I was like, which show am I gravitating to more? And I'm probably going to go with Wednesday because I think the season 2 of Wednesday is improving over season 1, where I think season 2 of Twisted Metal is downgraded from season 1. So that's why I'm going to give it a pass on that one. So yeah. And plus, like I said, Tim Burton's bringing his artistic style to it, so can't go wrong with that. So yeah. That's all I got. Can we move on? Damn.
Oh, and by the way.
Yeah.
Just an FYI, the last Twisted Metal game came out in 2012.
There you go.
That's why no one gives a shit.
Did it say what system?
PS3, yeah. It was the PS3.
There you go. That's why nobody gives a shit. Okay.
So two consoles ago.
Right. And then wonder why nobody knows about this franchise. That's why. So shit. So yeah. All right. I say what I gotta say.
Obviously the show isn't generating enough interest to remaster a game. You know,
right? Well, I think that the funny thing about Twisted Metal, the guy that made Twisted Metal, I think that's the guy that made God of War.
Okay.
Yeah, but only the first one. He got fired at the first one. So,
right.
Yeah.
Look at you with the lore. You know more Twisted Metal lore than I do.
That's the only thing I know about Twisted. I know God of War.
You know the behind the scenes, the making
of God of War. I like. Oh, he came to Twisted Metal. I don't know what the fuck that is, but okay. But God of War. Okay, yeah. Now you made a God of War show. We'd be all into this shit. So yeah.
Oh, there was even a comic book, a one-shot comic book by DC. In 1996. Oh,
in the 1900s. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
and yeah, they were going to make a movie back in 2012, but it fell through. But they used some of it. Looks like so it was the inspiration for the slaughter race in Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, it's the second Wreck-It Ralph movie.
I watched the first one. I didn't watch the second one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I got it because Ralph Break the Internet was like parodying video games, basically saying that was okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I watch this. I on Disney Plus. I watch it.
No, it's good. It's a good follow-up. It's a good sequel. It's actually good.
Okay.
You know,
Cool.
it has a lot to say about internet culture, which I know you were having a hard time with this week.
I know, Eli. I'm too online. I know. Touch grass, okay.
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph got into like a comment section and she like,
like I seen some shit. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now I'm gonna throw it to you, Eli, because you watched something.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I tried to look up where I couldn't find whatever this is. I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's kind of disappointing how this kind of came under the radar.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying even when I search for it, I can't find it.
Oh, like the flick?
Yeah, I don't know what this is. Like, what is it? Where is it from?
Well, okay, Clown in a Cornfield.
Clown? Oh, that's why. I thought this was Children of the Cornfield. That's why I couldn't find it. I know what the hell I was looking for.
Yeah, sorry, man. Clown.
Like, is that a remix or something? Or
you're thinking of Children of the Corn?
Well, actually, I'm thinking of Children of the Cornbread. There was a '90s rap group in Mississippi, so I think that's where my mind went. But never mind.
Yeah, sorry, that was.
I'm pretty sure you didn't know about that group. I'm pretty sure.
No, I never heard of that.
Yeah. I'll send you a mixtape later on at the show. So.
Were they like Arrested Development or some shit?
No, they were like country. Anyway, let's talk about something.
Okay, Clown in a Cornfield. It is a new slasher flick based on a young adult horror novel, which I actually read a few years ago.
A YA novel?
A YA novel, that actually pushed even, and don't get it twisted, just because it says YA doesn't mean it doesn't go hard. Because, yeah, this book went hard. There's plenty of gore and blood and guts. So I actually found the book enjoyable. And, it stuck to the slasher formula. It was very much a fun little read, breezy little read. And it was a few years ago that I read it. And then I guess there's a whole series. I think there's 3 or 4 books now of that series, Clown in a Cornfield series. But then I heard they were making a movie, and it was coming out this year, and I was actually really excited about it. I want to check out that flick. And then I saw the trailer. I was getting really stoked, and then I didn't hear shit. I didn't hear nothing, and it didn't even go. I guess they just threw it on streaming. I guess it's on Shudder now.
Is that where you saw it?
No, I ended up renting it on Vudu. So, or
is Shudder even a thing anymore?
It is. I don't have that subscription anymore. It comes and goes, but I didn't have the subscription, and I just saw it pop up on Vudu, and I'm like, oh, okay, or Fandango, whatever it's called now, and I rented it. So, because I've been wanting to see it. So a little disappointed that it didn't get a theatrical release or just kind of flew under the radar, when horse shit like the new I Know What You Did Last Summer comes out.
Right, everywhere, and yeah.
Yeah.
But good for you that nobody saw that movie. So
yeah. So Clown in a Cornfield. It is like just like I said, it was based on a novel of the same name, and it just follows this new girl who moves to this small town in the Midwest, and the town had this factory, this corn syrup factory that employed everybody. And the corn syrup, the mascot was this clown. He was on all the bottles named Friendo. And that was like the town mascot. And every year the town has like a parade, like a Founders Day parade, because that factory is what put that town on the map. But then the factory shut down. So now she moved when the town is sort of in this economic downfall. The factory shut down, and there's this sort of generational divide. So yeah, the book kind of goes into like this political commentary of like the old versus the young, the sort of political commentary on like generational divide, like the adults are all conservative and, got these traditional small town values, and the kids are more progressive and yearn for change and challenging the status quo. So that's kind of really prevalent in the book. So anyways, this girl moves to this new town, and she falls in with the kids. And then, of course, someone dressed up in the clown costume starts murdering people, murdering the kids. So It's just your kind of formalic slasher movie at first, but then at around the halfway point, there is a sudden twist, which was what made the story for me. Reading the book, there was a twist that I didn't see coming that I thought was pretty cool. And they keep that twist in the movie. I don't want to spoil it because I feel like it makes the whole point of this. It's what separates this slasher from all the other slashers, But yeah, this was directed by the guy who made Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which I love that movie. I think I talked about it last year during our Halloween season as we were going on about horror comedies. And this is very much a horror comedy, like the emphasis on comedy. Like that's the tone in this movie. It really there is your fair share of blood and guts, but it emphasizes the humor. There's a lot of jokes, and it gets really silly at times, a little too silly, but there are laughs, and it did make me laugh a few times, and it follows, the stereotypical slasher tropes, the new girl, the cliques in school, the mean girl, the jock, and, it follows all those, it does follow the slasher movie tropes, it does follow the formula. And yeah, I guess this movie, it does what it's supposed to do, and that's about it. And I guess that's the thing. It's like it's fun. There are a lot of laughs. I did laugh. In fact, the thing that stood out for me, the thing that made this movie was a scene that made me laugh my ass off. I don't want to spoil it because it kind of gives away the ending, but it involves a doctor and an operating table. But I busted out laughing and found it hilarious. And that's the most memorable scene for me, And I guess that's where this movie separates the horror and from the comedy, because it emphasizes more of the comedy. Yes, there are kills. There's plenty of kills. There's, the kill scenes are fine. There's plenty of blood and gore. That's all there. But I think it lacks that one kill scene that makes the movie it doesn't have a memorable kill scene. You know what I'm saying? And that's like kind of what the point of a slasher movie is. You watch them to see people get killed creatively, and
right.
It doesn't push it's not like over the top like Terrifier or anything like that. But the kills are fine. There's plenty of blood. It's just there's nothing memorable. There's no kill scene that really stood out and that that was awesome. Because you can save a shitty slasher movie with a cool kill scene. You know what I'm saying? like a lot of horror movies, they could be shitty, but remember how they got their head cut off or blah blah or chopped, something got shot. You remember a horror movie by a kill scene.
Right.
Like The Prowler, the movie The Prowler, old 80s horror flick. It's aight, but that guy getting the knife through the top of his head is forever embedded in my brain. One of Tom Savini's best work of all time. The movie The Prowler, it's a ripoff of My Bloody Valentine. It's aight, but it has that dope ass kill scene.
Nice.
And that's what I feel is missing from this, like the memorable kill scene. It's like, so it does just kind of, emphasis is more on the comedy, and some of the comedy gets a little goofy. It does get a little silly. Some of the jokes hit, some of them don't, but it for the most part, it is kind of just an enjoyable, entertaining horror flick. There's I think I might have liked it a lot more if I didn't read the book, because I did know the twist. I did know the ending. So, Yeah, because I guess it's just it's the movie's okay. It's just a fine. It's nothing great. It didn't blow me away, but it didn't suck.
Mhm.
But it did put me in the mood for like fall because it's very much has that fall autumn feel. You know, the
Right.
cornfields and the school and the parade and all that. It does feel very much like a Halloween season. So it did put me in the mood for that. You know. So yeah, that was pretty cool. But other than that, I mean I liked it for the most part, but it was nothing groundbreaking or it didn't blow me away. I think kids, this is probably meant for kids, like for a younger crowd. I think the
It's
TikTok.
not an R-rated movie.
No, it's R-rated. Like there's gore, like it goes hard. There's plenty of blood and guts, so it is rated
Oh.
R. But I think it's just tonally just kind of goofy and just kind of campy and silly, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of meant for a younger crowd, like the TikTok generation. Like, I think
Gotcha.
this could be like a gateway horror flick, a stepping stone for kids, to get into horror movies, And it could be, like I said, it does feel like Halloween. This could be like a Halloween, something you put on during Halloween season, But yeah, I mean, I guess I'll give it I'm waffling between 3 and 3.5. It's average, but it's slightly above average, but not enough to be a 4.
Mm-hmm.
It does just enough to be. I was entertained, and like I said, I laughed a lot. And one moment made me laugh my ass off. So, yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's nothing. It's not great, but it doesn't suck. But it's entertaining, and it made me laugh. So,
I did grab the right one, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, Clarence Cornbread. Okay, and I also found Shooter the Cornbread. Okay.
Well, what's your slap a score?
What on Shooter the Cornbread? I haven't heard him in so long. I don't know. Download my favorite song they had. I'd rather be hated than loved.
Oh, okay.
It's on Spotify right now. Shooter the Cornbread. They're from some part of Mississippi. I can't remember what part of Mississippi, but they're from. So, yeah. All right, that's all I got. I like I said, remind me next week when I listen to Shooter the Cornbread, then I slap score on it. So, because I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment right now. That's all. So yeah. All right. That being said, we move on to the next part of the podcast.
Sure.
Okay. Like I said, it's comic books. We talk about comic book bullies. We're gonna jump into it. Eli, I'm gonna let you go first because I think you got more books than me.
Oh damn! I'm totally unprepared. Well, what should I do? What did I read? Okay, bear with me. I read what's up here. I Daredevil. Should I do that Daredevil?
Let's do it. Cold hard days. Cold day in hell.
Cold day in hell. So this is like a. Let me pull it up. Give me a moment. Where is it? Okay, yeah, here we go. Number, is it 4? It was just 4, right? No, 3. 3 of 3. So
okay.
That's what it was. Yeah, because these were double issues. So,
gotcha.
So Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, written by Charles Soule and Steve McNiven, and art by Steve McNiven. So this is very much like an Elseworld Daredevil story in the future. It's kind of like Dark Knight Returns, but with Daredevil. Like Daredevil, it's old man Daredevil. Okay. Everybody's old. He's old. Bullseye's old. Frank Castle's old. Everybody's old. Captain America dies. He was old. And Daredevil's been retired for a while, and he lost his powers. He got so old that he can't even see anymore, or he doesn't have his sensory. Yeah, I mean, no, he's blind, but his sensories could make him see. Basically, you know what I mean? He doesn't have the Daredevil sight.
Yeah, so now he actually has to walk with a cane for.
So he's actually blind. Yeah. But there was Bullseye was trying to bomb the city with some chemical, and in doing so, the chemical reinvigorated Daredevil's powers. So he got his powers back and decided to become Daredevil again and be a vigilante and shit. And then Bullseye was like, "We got to stop that Daredevil, that pesky hero." And then there was this girl that he was trying to kidnap who had abilities too, and I think he was trying to take her powers away or like use her powers and stuff. And he kidnapped her, and he had her locked up with Frank Castle. So Frank Castle, the Punisher, is all imprisoned in Bullseye's lair, and he's got no arms or legs. He's just like a stump, you know, laying on a wall, like chained to a wall, you know. And he's old as fuck too. So in this issue, this is the last issue. Bullseye's like, I'm gonna take that Daredevil out, and I just know the way to get his attention. So he ends up letting Frank Castle out of his harness or whatever that he had strapped to the wall, and then leaves him. And and then there's like this Iron Man mech suit thing that Bullseye had, and Frank manages to crawl inside that, and then hooks it up, and then use it. So it's Frank Castle in a robot body, and he like starts fucking up all of Bullseye's guards and shit, and escapes. And then we cut to Bullseye and Daredevil. Like Bullseye goes on, like hijacks the TV station and says, "Daredevil, you come meet me on the roof of whatever, you know, and if you don't, I'm gonna blow up this bomb in, you know, an hour or whatever." So yeah, they go up. So Daredevil meets him on the roof, and they talk a bunch of shit, and basically like, I've missed you, Daredevil. You know, we were always meant for greatness, and you know, and Daredevil's like, "Well, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this shit? You know, because this is all a performance. This is what I love to do. I've always loved to like show off and, you know, and just like get everybody's attention. I love the attention. Like, let's give them a show, you know." And they start fighting. Daredevil ends up kicking his ass. But then he gets fucking hit. Like Bullseye ends up hitting him good, and then makes his senses like stop, like go away. So Daredevil,
he knocked the sense out of him. Okay.
Yeah, so he doesn't have his radar sense and shit. So then Bullseye starts fucking him up. And he's right about to kill Daredevil, and then Frank Castle shows up in that big fucking
tank he was in.
Yeah, okay. It starts fucking up, you know, trying to get Bullseye, but Bullseye grabs like a electrical line and like throws it, and it like shocks the suit and like makes it short circuit, and the power goes off. And then he starts talking shit to Frank. It's like, "I knew you could do it, Frank. I knew it. I knew you'd show up right when I wanted you to." It's like he's talking all this shit. And Frank like manages to like get out of the suit, and he's like trying to crawl to, you know, when he's got no arms or legs, and he's trying to crawl to Bullseye. And Bullseye's like, "Look at you. You never give up. That's what I love about you, Frank. You never give up." And then finally, like, Frank manages to like jump onto Bullseye and bites his like face off. Like,
damn, okay.
Bites his face off, and then fucking he's, you know, it seems like he's like trying to like bite out his neck or something. Like Frank is trying to like basically tear his throat out with his teeth, you know. And then fucking Daredevil comes like, "No, Frank, don't. We don't kill. So he's still on the Daredevil don't kill shit, you know.
Even after all these years.
Even after all those years. So, yeah, what happens? Yeah, so he doesn't let Frank kill Daredevil, and Bullseye's like, "See, you never change, do you? You just won't kill. You won't, you know, do what's necessary." And Daredevil's like, "That's not who I am. You know, Daredevil's a righteous guy. You know, I believe in God. I believe in being, you know, forthright and righteous and all that, and doing good and helping people. That's what I'm here to do, and I'm not going to sink to your guys' level. I'm not an asshole like you, basically, you know." So then he tries to like set the bomb off, and Daredevil, they like goes after the remote, and then they end up falling off the building, and Daredevil they fall on top of a car. Daredevil lands on top of Bullseye, and his face is all fucked up, and he's like, "Oh, see, you just won't let me die, will you? You know, Daredevil, you know." And then finally, Bullseye spits, his teeth are all fucked up, and he ends up spitting one of his teeth out. And it ricochets off like the wall and then hits the button on the remote of the bomb. And the bomb ends up going off. And Daredevil's, oh, damn it. Bullseye did it, and he can't, and of course now Daredevil can't hear shit. He can't see nothing. His senses are all fucked up. And people are panicking, and he ends up finding that girl who got kidnapped, who had all the powers, and she's like all pissed off at Daredevil. She's like, see what you did? You should have let Frank kill him. You caused all this, blah, 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 and Daredevil's like, no, I was trying to stop this. And that's what people with power should do, is help people instead of destroy. It's like, you have power. This is the choice you make now is going to define who you are. You have the power to help these people. And that's why you're here. That's what I've been trying to do, was to help people. It ain't my fault that Daredevil or Bullseye set off a bomb. And then he dies. And then the girl lights up like an angel and ends up like pushing the smog away and show, because there's no power. It's all in the dark. The power's out, and she ends up being this light for everybody. And it's like very symbolic, like she's an angel, and she decides to help everybody, and took inspiration from Daredevil. So it was cool. This was a cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of stuff in that book.
Yeah,
man. Is this the last issue? Or?
Yeah, and it was a double issue. Like this is the finale.
Okay,
So,
oh, like that.
It was a lot involved, but then it really got into the action. Like all the action and shit. So yeah, this was cool. I dug on this. This might make my list of the best of the year. Gotcha.
Any thoughts of Tom Brady returning to the back of the NFL? Wrong podcast. Yeah, I don't know. Rather talk about Star Wars. Let's see. Oh, get out of there. Boom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll give this a 4 out of 5. This is this is a good ending to this series. And kind of somber. We see Matt Murdock passing away, or does he? But
this is an Elseworld story anyway. Yeah. Unless they want to do a sequel to this Elseworld story, then they'll bring him back anyway. So
yeah, it's but this was a really cool. So like I said, it's like dark. It's very much like a Dark Knight Returns with Daredevil.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So the next book I'm going to do is get out of there. Well, don't go get out of there. Get in here. Just cover, man. We're gonna do that. One Nation Under Doom, One World Under Doom, whatever the hell is going on.
Was that out this week?
Yeah, it's out every week. They never stop with these books.
I didn't even see that. I would have read that if I knew it was out.
Have you been keeping up with it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading these.
So check out this cover. This cover alone, man, makes me want to get this book out. Like, what the hell? So it's Dr. Doom stretching the hell out of Reed Richards. So yeah. So I think we're on issue 6 of 9 right now. We're going to keep this ball rolling with One World Under Doom. And yeah, let's get started off. So now what we have here is Dr. Doom and Reed Richards are finally going to have a face-off one-on-one in front of the world. But what kind of face-off? A debate. They're going to debate each other on live TV, on 616 TV and stuff like that. So they're going to debate. So the winner of the debate, that's it. I mean, so if basically Dr. Doom says, if you beat me in this debate, I'll step down. I'll relinquish my throne over the world. And I'm going to let the people decide who wins. Whoever they want, that's who get it. So that's we got going on right now. Reed Richards versus Dr. Doom in a debate. I was like, okay, let's go to it. And winner takes all. So yeah, so basically going back and forth. Reed Richards hitting him with facts and shit like that, and Dr. Doom also coming back with facts like that. But here's the difference between Reed Richards and Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom knows how to work a crowd. He don't just do facts and figures. He knows how to get a crowd. So Dr. Doom is funny. Doom is hilarious. Doom is charismatic. So he's winning the debate right now. And Reed Richards is like, oh shit, I'm in trouble right now. Like Doom is actually getting this crowd. So he was like,
crooked Reed. Ha 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 ha.
Right. So, but Reed got it. Reed like, okay, laugh it up. I got you right now, Dr. Doom. He's like, okay, look, Doom, while you doing all this yucking it up and shit like that, you trying to be truth and stuff like that. Why don't you tell about Blood Hunt? Yeah, remember Blood Hunt? Why don't you tell them that you knew Blood Hunt was coming and you could have stopped it, but you let this shit happen. You let all the people die for what reason? Why don't you tell people what happened right now? And then his mind, he's like, yeah, I got his ass. I got him. And Doom just looks at him. He was like, no, motherfucker, I got you. I wanted you to bring that shit up. So soon as he said it, Doom's like, checkmate, I got you. He was like, okay, yeah, I did Blood Hunt. I knew about Blood Hunt. But guess what? You know who else let that happen? Winston Churchill. And the crowd like, ooh, like, yeah. Winston Churchill, remember Pearl Harbor? Winston Churchill let that shit happen. And then they get like a flashback of right there showing like the Japanese bombers bombing Pearl Harbor. He's like, because Winston Churchill knew the attack was coming, didn't tell the United States because he needed the United States to join into the war. Because he knew if he told them what was going to happen, they weren't going to join into the war and we would have kept fighting over and over and over again. But as soon as the United States jumped into World War II, it got the war over faster, which means we saved more people. And Doom's like, he saved my people because I'm Romanian. So, yeah, I got attacked them also. So was Winston Churchill, and y'all say Winston Churchill the best British person of all time. But at the same time, he sacrificed thousands to save millions. Is he a bad guy? And Reed like, hold up, man, you can't be just saying shit like that. You can't prove that. They're like, of course you can't prove it. You never will prove it because they burned all the evidence. But Doom is telling you right now, I did this shit for a reason. I'm standing 10 toes down, unapologetic. I did this shit for a reason. So, and then once he says that, the crowd starts clapping. And Reed like, oh shit, I fucked up. He whooping my ass right now. Meanwhile, we go to the Avengers. They, after months of trying to get Laverdia, they finally got Laverdia. So got past them. Shit. Back to debate. So yeah. All right. So Reed is debating. He was just like, okay, but here's the thing. So Reed is just like, Dr. Doom, why don't you tell me this? If you're the person that's good for the world, what makes you better than any other person that's ever lived before? Everybody thinks you're the best person in the world. What makes you the best person in the world? Be like, I'm glad you telling me that because y'all, you and your Avengers have been doing shit for the world and ain't really did shit for the world. And then he breaks him down. I got to throw this whole panel right here, man. Doom gives it to him. This panel right here. Basically, he breaks down the Avengers one by one, how they ain't shit. First thing he does, he was like, look, Iron Man could have used the arc reactor to give the entire world clean energy. But what does he do? Keep the shit for himself. What does Ant-Man do? Ant-Man could have fed the whole planet. The hunger strike, he could have ended hunger overnight. But he decided to keep the shit going. Well, because of having a silly suit. Don't even get me started on Black Panther. The Wakandans keeping all these resources, all this metal that they could have used the world for themselves because they think the people aren't good enough to have it. So nah. And who else? Oh, and don't even get started on the X-Men. The X-Men cured death last year. And they kept it to themselves. The only people that didn't get it is mutants. Who, if I remember, Reed, isn't your son one of those mutants? You know. And matter of fact, you're the worst one out of all of them. Because you make all these crazy ass inventions every week, you throw them away when you could have changed the world, and all you do is make silly ass unstable molecules for your family. You're worse than anybody. The thing with them is that they don't know any better. You're just not living up to your potential. But meanwhile, you call me the bad guy.
You know what?
Because
this sounds like what we talk about all the time.
What we talk about all the time, and Doom's letting him have it. Because we saying like we got all these superheroes that could save the world but ain't doing shit. And he really lays into Reed for a second. He was like, because look at Reed Richards, look at all the Avengers, stuff like that. They got all their power under the way the world is. So of course they're gonna do everything they can to fight to keep the status quo going. They don't want the world to change. They want everybody to stay the same way it is before because they benefited from it and they want to stay in power. That's why they call me the bad guy, because I'm trying to do something to try to change the world. That's why you ain't shit, Reed Richards. And when he says that, the crowd just erupts and goes crazy and shit like that. He's like, oh, damn. So he know he is losing his argument bad. Meanwhile, then we go back to the Avengers, and you got, Sue Storm, Scarlet Witch, and Black Widow. And they're basically walking through the crowd invisible. Black Widow tells Sue Storm, you got to be a really good spy. not knowing that Sue Storm used to work for Shield, and Nick Fury said she was the best Shield agent she ever had because she go invisible and just do anything. So yeah, so they go around there and they're looking at their Latverdian citizen, but they realize that the Latverdian citizens are like moving like AI, like robots, shit like that. Okay, something ain't right here. So then they go into this building because Scarlet Witch can like sense a whole bunch of Sorcerer Supreme magic in this building. So they go into this building, and when they get in there, what they notice is a whole bunch of people trapped in cages, and they get like their life force sucked out by Doombots. So what? Yeah. So Reed Richards like, hold up, wow, Doom is kicking my ass in this debate. Hold on, I just got this alert. I want to show everybody right now. And what he does, he's showing them what's going on. He's showing all the Latverdians caged in there right now because Doom is sucking all their life force on them to up his Sorcerer Supreme magic. He's using millions of people to make himself even stronger than the regular Sorcerer Supreme was to do all this bullshit he's doing right now. And you're like, no, I only did that. And he's trying to take it from him, but then Reed Richards like, keep away with his hands and shit, you can't have it, And Doom is trying to talk his way out of this shit. No, my people volunteered for this experiment, shit like that. And Reed Richards, shut the fuck up. You experiment on children. Children are locked in these cages. He was like, Doom, I'm shutting you down right now. And then that's when Doom just loses it. Doom starts doing some shit, knocking his ass out, starts making him decay, and he like rips off the top of his head. He scalps him. Like, damn, okay. You're like, Reed, you ain't doing shit. He was like, well, if you was as good as you say you are, Doom, why you got to hide behind all this shit? And then Doom realizes he's been on TV the whole time while they're doing this shit. And the whole world is watching him getting exposed. So he turns around, looks at the camera, does some magic whammy jammy shit, and cuts out the TV, cuts out the feed. While the whole world's in horror. To be continued. So, yeah. So Doom was getting his ass whooped until the very end when he got exposed, which it always happens. So, yeah, that same debate that we always giving these heroes, stuff like that, Doom is basically throwing this shit back at him. And it had a point up until the end. He makes the same mistake every villain with a point makes. They do have a point, but they always overreach. Mm-hmm. They always let the power get to them.
Their ego.
The ego, the power, the pride, that always get to them. Even though they may have a point, they always fly too close to the sun. So yeah. For me, 5 out of 5. I love this book. So yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. Because I've been reading this. I've been reading it. Just this one. I ain't reading any of the tie-ins, but I've been reading the Doom, the One World Under Doom book, and I didn't even see it on the list. So shit.
it was there. So yeah. So now we got to see what's going on left because. So I think Sue Storm is the last Fantastic Four member because Doom then fucked up the rest of them. So yeah. All right, so what you got next?
Should I do that? Absolutely. Absolute Superman.
Absolutely.
I'll skim through this real quick. So Absolute Superman number 10. This is the Absolute Universe where Darkseid has reinvented the DC universe to his liking. This version of Superman is different. He has like a Spawn cape and shit. Lois Lane works for Lazarus, the Lazarus Corporation, the Lazarus Corps, and Peacemakers are basically cops around the world and shit. So basically, Brainiac is and Ra's al Ghul is the leader of the Lazarus Corps, and he's using Brainiac to help him, and we have a conversation between Ra's al Ghul and Brainiac, where he's telling him, like, he's basically saying that, laying down, like, this kid came from another planet and it probably has all these powers, and I'm running all these simulations, so I think we're figuring out a way to defeat him, And anyway, there's like a battle going on where they're trying to, Superman's trying to get to the Lazarus Corps, but all the Peacemakers are there, and the Omega Men, which is led by, what's her name, Primus. We don't know who she is. I kind of had a suspect on who she was, and they finally reveal it, So one of the Peacemakers is like, he's got a kryptonite bullet, and he's like, I'm going to shoot the Superman and kill him and shit. But Superman ends up fucking him up, but he won't kill him. I'm not going to kill him. And the Omega Man is like, kill him, it's got to kill him. And he's like, no, I'm not. it's Superman. I'm not going to be an asshole. So then Ra's al Ghul comes out and he's like, hey, I've been waiting for you. And, you're my son and all this shit. He's spouting all this shit. He's like, you're not my father. He's, oh, you will be. Or like, you will learn to call me father. Kind of like very Palpatine-ish,
Yeah.
In time, you will call me master, and Peacemaker's on the ground like, oh man, I almost had him, master. He's calling Ra's al Ghul master. He's like, yeah, but you didn't. And then he ends up shooting the Peacemaker guy. And Superman's like, what the hell, man? What are you doing? It's like, yeah, that's, I'm here for you. He wasn't worthy, but you are. And then he ends up shooting Superman in the back,
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then Primus grab him, and then they grab him, and then Primus is revealed to be Talia, which is what I kind of thought.
Of course. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Talia al Ghul. And they're like, oh, hell.
But Talia is leading her forces against Ra's.
Yeah, but now they're like, now they're together. It's revealed that they've been working together the whole time.
Oh, damn.
And
okay.
Talia is like, yes, indeed, Father, all hail the Omega. That's like the last panel of Talia and Ra's al Ghul standing there, and all the Omega men, her whole army is like being shocked. So all those suits that she had them wearing must have had like an Order 66 type of thing.
Yeah.
They're all wearing these suits and shit, and they all like started getting shocked, and they all fall down like the last panel. So the next issue, The Prisoner of the Al Ghul. So, and they got Superman. Superman got shot with a kryptonite bullet, and they got him. So
nice.
Pretty cool, man. This is dope. 4 out of 5.
Cool. All right. Next book. I'm kind of gonna fly through these next books real quick. I'm gonna do Storm number 11 and Eli. I don't know what the hell is going on in this story. I think I missed like 1 or 2 issues, and all of a sudden now Storm is riding a hippopotamus. So going to war, fighting every thunder god ever in existence.
I hear hippopotamuses are fucking like mean.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're supposed to be like strong as fuck. Like, have you ever seen a hippopotamus eat?
Yeah, I heard they're like really dangerous. They're like, yeah.
So what I've seen it where I don't know where I saw the Nancy Grace shit like that. So they will feed a hippopotamus 2 full watermelons, just throw them in the mouth.
Yeah,
and they just chew them just like candy or some shit.
Yeah.
Like damn. So, what we talking about? Storm. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I didn't do the thing. Fuck it, don't care. I'm not gonna talk long about this book. I'm gonna just kind of hit the high points on it, just see what happened. Boom. Like I said, Storm riding hippopotamus. I'm gonna tell you how weird this story's going. Just to give you some brief something. Okay, so apparently there's a whole council of thunder gods in here, and our boy is there. Not him. Fuck him. Fuck Zeus. Beta Ray Bill.
Okay.
He's a part of Pantheon. He's like that. It's all like, yeah. So the thunder gods are basically like, should we join Storm or should we join Hadad or Hadid or basically the first religion or whatever, the first thunder god.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Storm is skip all that. I don't care. Galactus shows up and Bishop saves him.
Just chilling.
I don't know. He's getting his ass whooped.
Oh.
Why? I don't know what the fuck going on. And Bishop has to save him. So Bishop beats up the dudes that are attacking Galactus while Storm is fighting Infinity and wins. Yeah. And Galactus tells her to chill. Why? I don't know. Then Beta Ray Bill stayed there because, like I said, they're voting on who's gonna go with Storm, who's gonna go with the the first Thunder God. And Beta Ray Bill is the only person that's on Storm's side. And every other Thunder God is just like, nah, fuck her. I don't want to follow a mortal, a mutant. They're beneath us like that. Let the first Thunder God erase this world and remake it in our image, So yeah. And yeah. So what else we got? Yes, Thunder God kills everybody, and Galactus is just chilling outside of Storm's house. Why? I don't know. Yeah. And the one above all shows up. So I don't know what the fuck going on, man. Shit. And then Galactus just like, well, what you about to do, Storm? She's like, I'm about to go get revenge. The end. So what? I think I missed like 2 issues, Eli.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck going on in this book, man. It's like, oh man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. How can you go from what I was in to this shit now? It's like I missed too much shit going on. So I don't know. I'll get caught up and see what's going on. But yeah, that stuff's going on. So basically, Storm is about to not only fight the first religion, but every Thunder God ever, except DAREDEVIL, who I think they killed. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah. What's your next?
We'll slap a score.
I can't. I don't know what the fuck going on. I really can't slap a score on it because I have no clue what's going on in this book right now.
Not even a 2? Okay.
I mean, I give it a 3 for the art, but I mean, I don't understand how we went from what I'd read to this. I don't understand it. So, Galactus wasn't in them other 2 issues, chilling. You know, at Storm's house. You know,
just
the one above all just shows up randomly. You know.
Yeah, I know they're doing something new like later this year, where like with the X Avengers and there's some weird shit going on.
You talking about the Age of Apocalypse bullshit?
Something, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen ads for it. And I'm like, I don't know.
They just redoing that shit they did from the 90s. That's all.
Maybe they're setting this up or something. I don't know.
No. This shit got nothing to do with X-Men or even Avengers. This is cosmic mumbo jumbo bullshit.
Well, she was the Queen of Mars, right?
Oh, she's past that. Yeah.
That's all I remember. Like,
Dr. Doom got on her ass about that too. I missed that part. He was like, "Where's Storm at? Storm could have got rid of every drought, in the world, but her ass would have go to Mars, shit."
Yeah.
So yeah.
But
that's
a 3.3 out of 5 for art.
3 out of 5. Like I said, art is decent, but I don't understand how we went from where we were to this. That is way too big of a leap for what just happened. So that's me. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but what you got? Yeah.
I will do Bitterroot, the next movement, number 5. So this is the finale.
Nice. Okay.
The finale of this new Bitterroot arc. So Bitterroot is a story about a family from Harlem who fights demons. Demons that called Jinyu that are that feed on like hatred and sorrow, and they're kind of been rampant during these turbulent times, like the racial tensions of the time. The first arc was like back in the 1900s. This takes place in the 1960s during the whole civil rights movement. So basically, some of the family, and they've been working for the government now ever since the whole shit that happened back in the 1920s or whatever it was, 1910s. The family now works for like an X-Files type of paranormal BPRD type of government faction, that to investigate paranormal activity, and they are called to the south, to Mississippi, to investigate missing freedom riders. They went missing, so they went to go find them. And of course, they go there, and it's Mississippi during the 1960s, and they're getting all kinds of shit from the local sheriff and all the the fucking redneck racists and shit, And then it is revealed that the Jinyu are back. But they're evolving, they're mutating into these other fucked up more monsters that are vining underground and coming up everywhere. And it's evolving. It's all metaphorical. Monsters as a metaphor. The racism is spreading, and they're getting a lot of pushback from the government because they're saying, "Oh, the Jinyu have been wiped." They're claiming that these demons were wiped out and they no longer exist, and they're refusing to believe them that they're back. These demons, not only did we not exterminate them, they're multiplying and evolving and becoming even more strong. So that's this whole story arc. They find the Freedom Riders, they help them escape, but they're also battling these monsters and shit. And So this issue starts out where they're talking to the president, and the president's like, what the hell happened in that town? Like it was a massacre. And they're basically explaining, well, what we've been trying to tell you is the demons are back, and they're multiplying and they're mutating and they're evolving into something a hell of a lot worse. And if we didn't, do what we did, there would have been a lot more people dead, and we had to kill this monster because by killing the monsters, they had this rule: don't kill the demons because then you're killing the hosts. So they were trying to save the people, but these monsters were like mutating into this big, almost like a kaiju, and they just had to destroy it. They had to call in, it was a big old like space age, like the family came in on jetpacks and shit, like space age jetpacks. It looked very 1960, campy space, sci-fi space, imagery. You know what I mean? With the jetpacks and the ray guns and shit, and they and they end up killing the monster. And but by killing the monster, they killed the host, and there was like all these people were possessed. So they're basically trying to tell the president, we had to do it. We had to do it, and we have proof that these things exist, and you got to quit, saying otherwise. That that racism exists. It's all commentary, and it's funny. Like the president doesn't seem to listen to them until the white guy speaks.
Right.
The white guy says, "Sir, if I may, what they're saying is all true. I witnessed it." Yeah, the white guy had to vouch for him and shit. And that's basically where it ends. They're like, "Hey, this problem exists. It's getting worse, and if we don't do something about it, it's gonna get a hell of a lot worse. More people are gonna get hurt. Lives are at stake. We got to address this problem. We got to admit that there is a problem. Then of course the last page is some racist asshole from Mississippi. I think he's the governor or something, and he's talking to the president.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking to the president, and he's like, "Okay, you better reverse all these civil rights laws, or else my people are gonna raise holy hell if you don't. Like, I don't want any of the black folks or any of these minorities having voting power. I want everything segregated again, and you better make this happen, or my people are gonna be very angry, and we're gonna make things a hell of a lot worse."
Yeah, but it sounds like the governor of Mississippi.
Yeah, so. We will unleash hell on this nation. That's what he's saying to the president. That's like, I hope I make myself clear, Mr. President, and that's where it ends.
Well, nowadays the Mississippi governor and the president on the same page, but we're not gonna get there.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, Bitterroot is very much a commentary. It's layered with plenty of political commentary, social commentary on current issues, past issues, specifically, civil rights and racism, and how it, gets swept under the rug, and all that. So that's what I love about this book. They're using horror to address real world issues, and I fucking love that shit. And I hate the term elevated horror, but this is what all horror tends to do anyways. All horror tends to address, issues, and, has some sort of social commentary, has an idea, themes and ideas about the real world or coping with the real world. And this is very much in your face, but I like it. I like this world. I like this sci-fi element that they have, like this family of demon slayers now working for the government. It's almost like Hellboy, So yeah, this gets a 5 out of 5. This is another great entry to the Bitterroot saga, which I've been a fan of since the get-go. So, yeah.
Nice. Okay. All right. Last book I'm going to do is 2 books, but I'm going to do them one at one time.
All right.
Make it easy for everybody. So yeah, because they kind of flow into each other. So it's just okay. So what we're doing is all new Venom number 9, 10.
Do you know a David Banner?
Do I? You know David Banner? You don't know David Banner?
I thought. Who am I thinking of? Isn't he a rapper?
Yeah. I feel like you should know David Banner, but at the same time, I feel like you shouldn't know David Banner. So just the fact you saying that,
he has
makes me like,
Well, there's
Yeah.
because in all these Bitterroot books, there's always interviews with black scholars and professors and philosophers. And remember they had the interview with your boy down there who owns that record shop and skate shop or whatever.
Yeah, DJ Venom. Yeah.
And they sort of just talk about the issues that are addressed in the Bitterroot comics. And this guy, this David Banner and Mississippi, the album.
Yeah, that was the name of the album. So okay.
Yeah.
I think he was on that Children of Cornbread album. I'm not even joking. I think he was on there, but yeah. But yeah, David Banner's a big deal down here.
Yeah.
I bet you if I play some of his songs, you'd actually know him.
Okay. Yeah. There's an interview with him in this book.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, and okay, so like I said, I'm doing 2 books for the price of 1. First book I'm going to do is Venom number 10, 9, I don't know. One of these shits. 9. Venom number 9.
You read a Venom book, huh?
I'm going somewhere with this. Yeah, so I read a Venom book for those who don't know, Venom
all
is Mary
new
Jane.
Venom, huh?
All new Venom. Because it's Mary Jane.
Oh,
yeah.
I heard about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm reading this. So let's just get to it. I'm not going to do the whole book. I'm going to just get to the point that I want to talk about. So the point is, Mary Jane / Venom has her own team. She's fighting Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus has his own team also, the Scar Squad, anything like that. And the team she has is, I'm trying to see, because, yeah, right here. Damn, I thought they had like a big superhero team thing, but they don't have it on there. I guess it's close. Right here. That's what we got. Okay, so you got Venom, Rick Jones, a.k.a. the Sleeper, and Flash Thompson, a.k.a. Toxin, I think, or Antitoxin, or
I thought it was anti-Venom. But I don't know what's going on.
He was, but he's not.
I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah. So he is anti-Venom, but now he's antitoxin for right now, for a minimum time. He's going to turn back to anti-Venom or Agent Anti-Venom or whatever the fuck. Fighting Dr. Octopus. Dr. Octopus got a squad. They kind of kick the shit out of Dr. Octopus squad. And Dr. Octopus was like, good, I don't need a squad. I can fight you guys by myself. I fight Spider-Man all the time. I don't need underlings to do my bidding. And Venom is just like, oh, that's hilarious that you comparing us to Spider-Man. Because I already know what Spider-Man is going to do. He's going to quip and tell jokes shit like that. But we aren't Spider-Man. We are Venom.
Oh,
I get to the point,
we are toxin.
Right. We are, and then like a snake jumps out of Venom's chest like that and shoves it down Dr. Octopus' throat, and get ready to choke. Like, yeah, choke on that shit. You want to call us Spider-Man. She's like, nah, don't do that. Then she's like, you're better than this. So, yeah. And they just leave. Now, that ain't what I want to talk about. I want to talk about your boy, Paul. Because Paul really, yeah.
Paul.
Right. Because Paul realizes that him and Mary Jane are trying to drifting away and they're not what they used to be. And they realize that Venom is getting away. So Paul is going to make a promise that he's going to be a better boyfriend. And Mary Jane like, wait, what? No, Paul, no. I'm breaking up with you. To be continued.
Oh,
it's over. We're free, Eli. We're free. Free at last. Free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
That lasted way longer than everything.
You're right. Oh man, we are fucking done with Paul, man. This shit is over. Okay. Oh man. So that's the first book.
That's why you read.
That's why I read it. I had to read it. She finally broke up with that punk ass Paul. That's it. Now, I will say this before we get down there. I know people are saying, oh, good. They're going to turn Paul to a supervillain and all this bullshit like that. No, don't do that. Don't turn Paul evil, powers, and like that, because it's going to prove everybody right. Because then everybody prove like, well, I knew that dude wasn't a piece of shit anyway. I knew he wasn't any shit. No, let Paul just go away. Or drop it off a building. I don't care. Just do something. But yeah. All right. So next book we're going to do, boom, Spider-Man number 10, I think. Amazing Spider-Man. So Spider-Man got fucked up by the Shocker. So yeah. So as he got fucked up by the Shocker, he just not being Spider-Man. He just chilling. Like, nah, I'm good. So yeah, he's ignoring everybody, ignoring calls, ignoring Aunt May, ignoring his girlfriend, Shay, ignoring his job. But only thing he's paying attention to is his job. That's it, something like that. I thought this was a pretty poignant thing also. Where Aunt May is at feast, she's talking to like one of her co-workers, her work husband. Aunt May keep one on him. So yeah. So basically saying, so like, are you getting into it with your nephew? Have you talked? Yeah, like he's avoiding my calls, stuff like that. Yeah, my niece avoided my calls also. And I knew she was having trouble. She's like, no, he's not on drugs, anything like that. Like, are you sure? Because I gave my niece some space also. And next thing I know, they were calling me to identify her body. So you might need to get in contact with your nephew and see what's going on. So she's like, damn. So basically she sends, cut all this bush. I don't care about Tombstone. And shocker. Yeah. Cut to Peter on the phone with his girlfriend. And he turns around. And who is it? Mary Jane. Mary Jane is here because she's saying that Aunt May sent over because since he's been avoiding Aunt May. She's like, she wants to make sure that you're still alive. She's like, yeah, I'm still alive. Go away. You're like, no, Peter, I got something else to tell you. First off, fuck Paul. I'm done with him. Next thing, and then she just says, look, bam, we miss you. Like, I need a friend. And she's like, Peter, say something. Say anything. Do something. I don't care. Fight us or something. Do something. He just goes in the room. You're like, look, y'all deserve each other, man. And just leave. He don't want nothing to do with either one of them. Because technically, Venom is his ex, too. So I love it. Yeah. And then in the end, he, fights Shocker and shit. So, yeah. Awesome best panel. But, yeah, right there. So, that's it. I just want to say, I'm so glad Peter said fuck both of them. So, because that's some toxic shit he was doing. Kurt, running back to your ex when they do fucked up shit like that. It's proud of Peter. Honestly, Eli, hot take, I'm over the whole Peter Mary Jane thing. Sorry. They fucked the story up so bad, I'm over it. So, let Peter get a new girlfriend. He already got a new girlfriend. He can be time with that. So, yeah, let Mary Jane do whatever bullshit she's going on. And, yeah, that's it. I'm good with that. So, overall, both of these stories, 3. Because I didn't even read the whole thing. I didn't give a fuck about the fighting at the end or the beginning. I just cared about Paul getting shitted on. That's all I cared about. So, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't followed any of that shit, like, since it started. Like, I think I would... Remember, what was that? The Gangster War or whatever that I was reading a couple years ago?
Was he in that? Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. But that was kind of wet. Like, I lost interest in that. What was it called? You remember the crime war or whatever?
Yeah. When him and like She-Hulk and all them other people teamed up.
Like Tombstone's daughter, what the fuck was her name? Was like
Miles Morales was there. And,
like all that shit. That's the last Spider-Man shit I read, and that's right around when this whole Paul thing happened.
Yeah. Oh no, that was before that.
Yeah. No, I was like I stopped reading that. And then I jumped back in because I was curious about the whole gang war or whatever. That's what it's called, gang war?
I think so, yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't followed Spider-Man in a while.
Because they keep doing this bullshit. That's why. So, yeah.
Yeah,
that's okay, Eli. Paul is gone now. You can pick the books back up.
Well, just the misery porn. It's just like, let's...
But that's always been Spider-Man, man. Nobody hates Spider-Man more than Marvel writers.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. So...
They just love doing this shit to him. That's why. So, yeah, I don't know. So, all right. Anything else you got? Or
no, I'm booked out. I read that Godzilla Dead Zone or whatever the hell. That's all. This was an honorable mention. Escape the Dead Zone. It's some dude who's he's a guy, but he's like a monster too. He's got like a tail and he can like fight kaiju, I guess. But he's like regular size. Again, I think they'd go like this whole IDW Godzilla universe. What do they call it again? Kaiju verse or Kaiju power or whatever. I think that they're pushing that Attack on Titan type of thing. Because there's that one guy who has powers and he's like regular size human, but he can like jump in the air and punch Godzilla in the face and shit like that. So they're very much like biting Attack on Titan, So,
okay.
But yeah, this is it was like another story arc. Art was cool, but kind of a weird, goofy story. But when you think about it, all Godzilla stories are really goofy. So.
That's the appeal.
Yeah. So
Yes.
yeah, that's about it. I'll give that a 3. I don't know if I'll
Cool.
continue, but yeah,
Well,
that's about it.
yeah.
I'm booked out.
No
I would
problem.
have
Good thing
read
about
the
next
Doom
week.
book,
Yeah.
huh?
No, I was saying, yeah, but because you didn't hear about the Doom book, because when I saw that picture, I mean the cover, I was like, yeah, I got to get this. See what the hell going on with that.
Yeah, it didn't pop up. Like I used to, shout out to the like Gomer and his podcast. I used to read, was it the previews? That was like how I'd find out about
Yeah,
all the
because he
books.
have a whole episode just on previews. Now he
Yeah.
don't do any of that shit
Now
anymore,
he don't
so,
do
yeah.
that anymore, and I gotta like look up, do it myself,
Just
and
find it. So yeah.
yeah, and the site that I must have not have seen it on the list because I've been reading that Doom book, but now I'll have to check it out.
Don't know. Been good shit. Well, good thing about next week is that we know exactly what podcast we're going to do. We don't know how long it's going to be. The Alien show drops. It's going to be the Eli show. So it's either going to be a 30-minute episode or a 2 hours and 30-minute episode, depending on what Eli do. I don't know. So, yeah.
If the story, if it's good,
so, yeah.
I'll go on and on. If it ain't, I'll like,
Right. Yeah, like, don't throw it to me because I don't know what the fuck going on. I'm going to just be like, it's all right. Either way. So. But we'll find out what's going on. Like I said, if you listen to this long, if you like, share, subscribe, you listen long in 30 seconds. You help out the algorithm. If you give us a like, you really boost up the algorithm. They love that shit. So yeah. Hell, dislike it. They love that shit too. They don't care. They can't tell the difference. So yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll come back next week. We'll have some shit for you. Until then, it's Leroy.
This is Eli.
We'll talk to you guys next week. Same bullet time, same bullet channel.